Andrea Dempster-Chong, Executive Director, Kingston Creative, to share more. Good morning, Andrea, and welcome to Sunrise.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, considering. It's been a different Christmas, but we're all doing fine at Kingston Creative.
Good. So Kingston Creative is investing in people and place, developing strong creative entrepreneurs, and building a vibrant art district in downtown Kingston. One of the ways that you're doing this or achieving this is through the CATAPULT Arts Grant, and this is being done in collaboration with the American Friends of Jamaica. Can you tell us more about this?
Absolutely. Well, firstly, we're a nonprofit charity organization really focused on empowerment of creative people. And so one of the things that we're doing is offering a stimulus to the creative sector to help creatives to recover after COVID. So on Monday, January 3rd, artists not only in Jamaica, but across the Caribbean will have the opportunity to apply for a $76,000 JMD or $500 grant, and also be listed in a new Caribbean creative database. So 300 creatives will be selected to win the grant, and you just have to be over 21, live in the Caribbean, be a professional artist, and have been negatively impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Well, that qualifies all the creatives in the Caribbean, doesn't it, Andrew?
Basically, it's so easy to apply.
If you're over 21, you qualify.
No. Yes, quite simple.
With those requirements in place, you know, being over 21, prove your negative impact from the pandemic, you're saying you'll select 300 persons across the Caribbean?
Yes, so people can apply via our website, which is www.kingstoncreative.org, or using bit.ly/catapult22. And so, you know, you can follow us on our social media pages as well. So it's really open to everyone. We're selecting 300 people. And the primary goal of this grant is just to support creatives that have been impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. It's still ongoing, and we know it's still an issue. COVID might be old news, but it's not old news if you're a creative in the creative sector. And it's just one of the suite of things that we're doing. So it's not just about grants. We also have, you know, free training courses, accelerator programs, incubator programs, investor pitch events, even employment through programs like Paint the City. So it's one of a suite of things that we're doing. But aside from that $76,000 in financial support, what's really special about this one is this new Caribbean creative database that we're launching. It's a publicly accessible directory where anyone can find, hire, and partner with Caribbean artists for local and international jobs, because earning is critical right now. So the new database will launch in March 22. It's linked to this grant. So you apply for the grant, you're put in the database, and this will play a huge role, we believe, in helping creatives to be visible, to get those important jobs, and of course, for the creative sector to recover post-COVID.
Andrea, why is the creative industry so important? You speak so passionately about it, but for so many persons, they don't even consider it an industry. But for you, it is so important. Why?
Well, it's strange. A lot of people are creatives. There's musicians, filmmakers, dancers, people who write books. If you think about it, a lot of people are involved in the creative industries. If you go to a party, the people who put on these parties and festivals, they're in the creative industry, a lighting person, a sound engineer, a DJs. So a lot of our culture is wrapped up in people who earn from these industries. And of course, then there's other people, your hairdressers, the people selling the clothes. You know, there's a lot of different subsectors that feed into the creative industries. So for us to really recover after COVID, the creative sector cannot be left out. And so, you know, while we continue to develop our art district in downtown Kingston, you know, the murals on Water Lane to bring people in to see our culture and our beautiful murals, we're also really focused on helping creative entrepreneurs. The people who do creativity as a living, as a business, is critical. And the IDB is helping us through a 3-year partnership to make sure that they get on their feet and they succeed.
Andrea, you do so much for the creative industry, and this is another example of your investment into those professionals. Is there more that you think the state could do to recognize this industry and to help them as they, I mean, we're known as a city of music. Kingston is recognized. We're globally seen as a creative nation. Do you think our state can do more to help creatives specifically with their recovery, as you have led the way?
Yes, I think there's a number of ministries that are involved, and I think they are all doing their part. You have the Ministry of Finance, you have the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, because this is an industry, Ministry of Culture, Ministry of Tourism, and they're all kind of playing their part. If anything, I would say if there could be more coordination, I think that would be super important. But, you know, yes, there's always more the state can do, and there's always more that we as creatives can do. The responsibility is not to sit back and, you know, wait on government. I think we also need to do our part as creatives in coming together, in lobbying for what we need, the changes that we need. And yeah, so I think it's a combination. We have to meet halfway.
You mentioned the coordination with the stakeholders. What do you think can be done to achieve the more coordination that you mentioned earlier?
I think being inclusive, participating in the different programs. So for example, we have a creative hack. So we're doing a hackathon on January 21 through 22. It's a 2-day event where creatives and techies and different business people come together to find sustainable solutions to problems plaguing Jamaica, like environment, like crime, and we're giving $500,000 in you know, to the winning team. So these types of events are platforms where people can come together and can participate, government, private sector, NGOs. And I think it's super important that we all kind of pull together and get involved and network and participate in these types of things. So I, for one, am really super excited to see what comes out of a hackathon on, you know, looking at crime, for example. When you have creative people at the table, we might get some new approaches. So, so listen out for the Creative Hack JA and other things that we're doing to kind of pull the stakeholders together. That coordination that you mentioned, super important.
Andrea, remind us again where we can find information about all the things you've mentioned and to keep up with all the amazing opportunities that you've described for the creative industry. Tell us your handles, tell us where to go one more time.
Sure, no problem. So you can always email us at info@kingstoncreative.org. You can go to our website, which is www.kingstoncreative.org. And we are on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook. So any of the social media platforms, you will find us, and we'll have lots of information about these programs. But definitely email us or check our website. And don't miss out on this grant. You know, if you're not an artist and you're listening, tell a creative in your life about it. Tell a DJ, tell a dancer, tell someone that there is this grant of $76,000 that's coming out, and they can apply January 3rd.
No, as you mentioned, you know, the people that we must tell, because I feel that I qualify for the grant, you know, Sherry.
I think so.
You don't think you qualify? You don't feel like you're a creative?
Yes, I am.
I feel so.
You think we can go for it?
Yes.
We meet the
if you're in fashion, are you a fashion designer?
You know, it's niche to see and say fashion. Chana man, Kuna man, Andrea. Look here to me.
Oh,
tell me some of the people that we would have think of, but who we need to tell. So like you would have think of, oh, you know, the awesome people on Sunrise, you know, maybe they qualify. Maybe there are other persons in our circles who we may overlook.
Right.
Remind us of some of those persons who we might need to reach out to, who may think, not that for me, no help, not that, but there is actually help because they qualify.
So creative industries, you have your visual artists. They're the ones you think of, your painters, your sculptors, but you also have your performing artists, right? So your dub poets, anybody who gets on a stage, your comedians, Johnny Live, please apply. You know, so there's your comedians, there's your theater people, there's your live music, because these are also part of the creative industries and performing arts. Then you've got your literary arts, so any of the writers, the publishers. You've got your people who do crafts, so any of your artisans. Do you make sandals? Do you make jewelry? You're definitely part of the creative sector. There's people in fashion, there's people who make toys, it's just a very, very wide range.
The people
of course,
that do
your
your nails?
Our filmmakers, our animators. Yes,
I can tell my nail tech.
Mois, you can tell your moi backstage, your makeup artist. They're also part of the creative sector.
Amazing.
So yeah, it's really hard to think of who's not in the creative sector, to be honest.
I know, right?
Yes.
I know. Yeah. So it's a wide pool and it's an opportunity. Is there a limit, Andrea, for the persons who you will take from Jamaica, or is it really about where the support, the extent of the funding, or everybody must just apply, or is there a limit because it's Caribbean wide?
Well, there's no limit. There's no limit set. So it's the best applicants from wherever they come from. So we're not going to be considering which island you come from. But, you know, I am encouraging everyone to get on it and apply. I've seen a story out in Dominica already. They're on the ball. So I want to make sure that Jamaican creatives really hear about this and that they apply and, you know, hopefully get through. So yeah, it's open to everyone. And it's the first time, you know, this Catapult grant is a way that we're kind of taking it from just supporting Jamaican creatives, supporting Caribbean creatives. And I think that regional link is so important. We're already a small community. The artists are already linking together. So we need to do so more on an institutional level because we're a small region, you know, so there's so much more we can do by uniting and collaborating and working together. So I love that this is Caribbean.
That's an excellent note to end on, Andrea, from Kingston Creative, you reminding us that there's so much more we can do if we do it together. The African proverb says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far,
go together.
Which is where we want to go together. Thank you for that timely reminder. And thank you so much for joining us. All the best for the new year to you.